Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Bill Wisham, and this is my wife Linda. And our puppy dogs are Ferguson and Scotty.
Scotty.
And we're from Maryland.
You're from Maryland. How long you guys been RVing?
Over 25 years.
And you guys are not full-time?
No.
The longest we stay out is about 5 months. It was between 4 and 5 months a year.
Okay, so you guys own a home as well?
Yes, we own a small rancher-type home in Maryland.
So who takes care of your home when you're gone?
We have lots of grandchildren, but we have one grandson, Danny, who's in his 30s, very reliable, and he stops by once a week. I have all the electronic gadgets. I can look at my thermostat at home. I can look at my living room at home, so we keep track of it like that.
Very cool. So what made you guys want to travel like 4 or 5 months out of the year?
I think retirement was the one big thing because we had the time, and we have pretty cold winters, so that forces us. Also, we have a daughter that lives in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we'd like to go down and visit her for a few weeks. So I think that those things were what promoted it.
So do you guys leave every winter and go RVing?
We've done it, I think, 4
About
years
the past
in a
4
row.
years. We retired well, I'm not fully retired, but I retired from a company in 2010. And ever since then, we've been on the road now we did a lot of RVing before we retired, but now it seems to be the actual thing we do the most.
And of course you guys enjoy it because you keep doing it.
Yes,
Yep.
very much.
So what does your guys' family think? Like your children, grandchildren?
Most of them really like it. They really, want us to go and have fun, and they feel that we're very fortunate to be able to do that. I think most of them like it.
Most of our children watch our progress on Facebook. I usually post two times a week. I put about 8 or 10 pictures up, and they can see where we are. But the funny part about that is their friends also watch it. So we have grandchildren's friends and people we don't even know who are writing comments back to us that say, keep on traveling. I'm really enjoying your trips.
Living vicariously through you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, I have a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been RVing just in general? Are you guys new to RVing and just after you retired you started, or have you been?
We started in probably around 1990s when we bought our first Class C RV. It was an older, the Scamper was the make. It had a Chrysler powertrain underneath of it, and I worked on it continuously until we could get it so it was roadworthy. But no matter how much work I did to it, it never really turned out. Then we bought a brand new one. Here's the story on that. After 9/11, I decided that I'm not waiting to buy a new RV because 9/11 just made me feel like a lot of uncertainties in life. So we bought a brand new RV, and it was a Class C. It was 23 foot. The first one was 18 foot. The second one was 23 foot. This is a 26 footer, so we are growing.
Oh, you keep going bigger.
Yeah. But we like them small because a lot of national parks and state parks won't let you in if you're above 26 foot.
That's true. I found that out myself.
Yeah. Also, we don't like pulling a car.
Yeah. We maneuver very well with it. Even this 26 foot, we stop in small towns. That's the highlight, is stopping in little out of the way places and meeting people, just like meeting you and your children. It really makes it all worthwhile.
So you guys are right now traveling in a Class C, and this is 26 foot, and you guys do not tow a vehicle. So share with everyone what you do about a vehicle when you want to travel things.
Well, this is the first time we're in San Diego, the suburbs now, and we rented a car just so we could see as many sites as possible in a week. But normally we don't rent a car. This is the first time in our 25 years that we've actually rented a car, and it really works out well. But imagine me pulling a car all the way from Maryland to here. It's close to not quite 3,000 miles, 2,800 miles, me pulling a car all that distance just to use it for like just 1 week. So
we also don't stay in one place too long. Maybe usually it's 2 days, 3 days. So we're always moving on to see something else. So once you pack up, you may as well, go to another campground.
That was going to be my next question, was what's your average stay at places?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The advantage of a Class C is you hit the key, you unhook your water and your sewage hose, if you even have sewage, and your electric, and off you go. Sometimes it's like 5 or 6 minutes to get ready to leave. Even the awning one, the new one, is electric. You zip it right up and off you go. So the Class C has my advantages, all the things. It gives me flexibility to stop and go. And we do boondock. We also use Walmarts and Cracker Barrel, and
yeah, if it's just a one night, like
it's a one night deal.
So you guys have been doing this for a while. So how many states have you been to?
Well, Linda, tell me.
We've been to 50 states, but only 48 of them with the RV.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to hit all those 48 with the RV?
I think
we were married 51 years before we saw all 50 states.
Wow. So you guys have definitely taken your time and seen things.
Right.
What's one of your favorite states?
That's
that
so
is
hard.
a difficult thing to
Because
say.
every one of them has a certain character all to themselves. I tell you, one of my favorite state parks has been Dead Horse Point State Park in Utah. That's probably the one that knocked my socks off. And we just came from an incredible California state park called Anzio Borrego Desert State Park, and that was way up there too. But every state you go to has its own character and its own people and its own nationalities. We've camped in about 8 provinces up in Canada and meet the actual French fisherman down in his village, or to go to a grocery store in Wisconsin, or we've been to, like Linda said, we've been to all 48 continental. To actually go to Utah and meet Mormons that turned out to be the most incredible, friendly people I've ever met in my life. So we've had all these experiences. We've had experiences in nature and just socializing with people, and it certainly keeps my interest. I don't ever get tired of this. I feel better when I'm out in an RV than I am at home. I feel better.
So tell me some of your favorite places, or places that you highly recommend people go see and visit.
Yeah.
I think Yellowstone was one of my favorite because of all the nature.
Buffalo, elk, fox. Linda's an actual birder, and Texas, in the southern areas of Texas, they have incredible places to look at birds. There's one lady in this town called Patagonia. She smears peanut butter all over the limbs of her trees in the backyard, and all these birds come from miles around. They get a good feast.
Big Bend is a wonderful park for people to see. I like New Mexico has several nice parks. They're not huge, but they're interesting and different.
They have a theme for every one of their parks. We went to one on the border called Ponchas Vilas, and it had a first-class museum equal to what you would see in the Smithsonian in Washington. And it described the night that Ponchas Vilas and his men came over and killed 10 civilians and like 8 soldiers in that little town of Columbus, New Mexico. And a little further north is a place called Rockhound. That if you're a geologist, that's what you're called, a rockhound. You have a little pick and you go around looking at rocks. Any state campground, any campground I've ever been in my life, where they tell you can take home with you 20 pounds of rocks. So that was kind of way out. And that was where I had a lady tell me I could not ride my bike. And I looked at her and I said, "What's she talking about?" I had no idea, so I rode my bike because I'm kind of cocky anyway. And I came back pushing a bike that had 2 flat tires. That's where they have sticker briars everywhere, and they penetrate any kind of tire you can think of. So we've had a lot of cool experience. The other place up the road from that, a little further, is called Rockhound. No, back up. City of Rocks.
Yeah.
It's right out, it's between Denning and Silver City. And you would think you were on some kind of oasis. It's rolling deserts, and all of a sudden there's spiral of rocks coming out of the ground about 40 feet tall. They're probably 20 foot round, 40 foot tall. And they're lined up in a row a little over a mile long. And what the state's done is put campgrounds around the whole perimeter. They have campsites around the whole perimeter. And spectacular. So
Really special.
I give New Mexico a lot of credit. They don't have a lot really going for them. There's a lot of poverty there, but their state parks, I think, is helping them a little bit. Gives people job opportunities.
Very cool. So who had to convince who to actually leave your home and go travel? Or was there any convincing? You both were?
Yeah, I think both of us were into that. Before we got into the actual RVing, we did tenting with the children. Then we went to pop-up. So we always loved going places. But we stayed pretty much on the East Coast. And so retirement, I think, gave us the ability to, venture further and take a longer trip. So, but I think we both equally enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We like driving, and I think that's something you have to really enjoy, is to drive for hours.
Yeah, now we don't drive 500 miles a day anymore. We keep our mileage, especially when we get west of the Mississippi. We try to keep our mileage down to about 200 to 250 a day. That'd be the longest we go. So we like to see, as we're going, we like to stop. We hit a town called Marfa coming through Texas, and we really weren't planning on staying there, but the wind was over 50 mile an hour, and it was impossible to actually drive the RV. And we met such incredible people. The actual lady at the Welcome Center came from behind the counter and sat us down on chairs and the table, and she brought out these books and spent 2 hours with us explaining the town. And she said, she talked about the actual Marfa lights, which you may have heard about that. And then there's a real famous hotel downtown. Help me say the name of it? No, you can't say it.
I can't think of it.
So I asked the guy out, the manager running the registration lobby, I said, you guys have any trouble with me parking an RV out front? None at all, sir. So we went in and had a really upscale meal, and we slept out there that night in front of this real upscale hotel, and it was a pretty quiet night, wasn't it? Pretty nice. So I guess I can sum up our travels by saying we don't know what is around the corner. We want to go around the corner to actually see what's there, and that's been our philosophy. We'll have nothing planned. A lot of our fun is spontaneous. And
we don't stay on the interstates. Like we might for a little bit, but then we try to get off, because that's the only way you're going to see these interesting little towns, and that's how you meet people, and that's the biggest part of the whole thing, is all the nice people you meet and the things you learn.
I totally agree. So is most of your traveling during this time just not really planned as much?
Well, I have a structure. I have a real good map program, and I have an outline where I'd like to get around and see. But I've been known to actually deviate off the trail quite a bit. And the fact I figured out about 2 or 3 days ago that if I went from here up to Big Sur and stayed on as much one as I could, we would have covered the whole coastline of California. So I decided to add another 700 miles to the trip to go up to see Big Sur. And we have to be in Colorado on March 15th. And we have grandchildren. We're going to watch them ski in Colorado. So I'll talk about that when you come back on. Okay. So you asked what was one of our favorites, and I guess we're in California now, but I realized that I hadn't seen all the coastline, so we're going to make an effort. We've got about 3 weeks before we have to be in Colorado to watch our grandchildren ski, December 15th. So we've got a little more than 3 weeks.
March 15th.
March 15th. Wow. Anyway, by going up Route 1, we'll see a lot of great places I've never seen. I want to see Big Sur. I want to see Carlsbad. I want to see. Oh, we're also going to visit a friend from back east. Her son lives out here. His name's Kenny, and he's invited us to spend a couple days with him. I made arrangements to put my RV in storage in Burbank, right next to where they make the movies. So we're kind of excited about that, but the idea that we're going to spend another 2 to 3 weeks, 2 weeks anyway, along the California coast, and that will complete the whole length of the United States coastline. It'll be California, Oregon, and Washington, because we did that. The upper part, we went from Monterey north in our trip in 2011. So this is our third cross-continental trip.
Have you guys had any like learning curves with your RV, like stuff break and you just had to like kind of figure out how to fix it or look up how to fix it and stuff?
Well, I'm a mechanic, which helps. There's two kinds of RVers. There's people who can fix them, and there's people that have a credit card. Well, I don't have a credit card. I have a debit card, and when I run out of money, I come home. So, but I really thought buying a brand new RV would alleviate a lot of the work for me. Only to find out that it took a whole year to tweak it out as good as the old one was. Our old one was on a Ford E350 chassis, and it had 103,000 in it, and we ran it.
That was the Class C.
The Class C, and we ran it for 14 years. So I wanted to get something like it. So this Mini Winnie, which I get laughed at everywhere I go, has the same exact powertrain as the other Ford did. But it took me a year, as I said, to tweak out and make it as comfortable as the other one. Now that we have it done, it is much more comfortable. It has a lot more features that make it more comfortable for us, and it really drives great. So I'm looking forward to maybe putting 100,000 miles on this. The matter of is
whether we can still drive.
Yeah, whether we can still drive, whether our children take away my license, I don't know.
So do you guys plan on doing this for quite some time more?
Well, we
I'd like to make it to
80, but
I'd like to make
I don't know if that's feasible.
and then we met people in 82, 85 in these campgrounds.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm cutting myself short, but if I can make it to like 80, that would give us. I'd probably have 100,000 in this one by the time we're 80, because we're putting more miles. When I was working, we were only putting about 7,000 miles a year on the RV. Now we're averaging. Well, I've got 16,000, and it's 1 year and 4 months old. So we're going to average. We're going to average probably 12,000 a year, maybe.
That's so awesome. Do you guys have friends that do this as well?
No.
No? So what do your friends think?
We don't have any friends that are into it. We have one, a little bit older couple that we have gone. When we had our other RV, we actually came across the states, and I think that was a 5-week trip, and but they aren't able to do it anymore, and we're all getting older, and it doesn't work out as well as it did when we were like 10, 15 years younger. So they're the only ones, and he never would have driven an RV. So
we have acquaintances and friends we've made RVing.
Yes.
It turns out in my high school, and when I did the website for my high school, I found out there was 2 other guys who were RVing, and we always work in our schedule to spend a little time with each of them. One of them, he's a volunteer down in Georgia at a veterans park, and the other one is in Texas. and we have a good time. We spend a couple days with them. So yeah, we have made.
But they're much more start heading. We just can't deal with that. It's too much staying in one place.
I guess we have ants in our pants. I don't know what keeps us hopping, but we do.
Do you guys ever have people travel with you, like family or grandkids or anything?
For short trips,
Yeah.
maybe. We had our daughter one time for 17 days with the kids, and it was all right.
Yeah, they got our grandchildren in Texas have more RV time than the other grandchildren who live closer to us up north. But their mom is pretty adventurous, and she likes to see things. She's now that we're in California, we keep getting Facebook comments from her saying, "Boy, I wish I was with you." I like California. We have another daughter in Pennsylvania, Jennifer, who wanted us to make sure we saw that real hotel at Cordata.
Coronado.
That was fabulous.
So speaking of your RV, do you care if you give us a tour of what's your living like? All right. Okay, so these are steps coming in. So this is your very cute
Living area.
So we've got the dining table, a couch, and bed up top. Is that a twin?
Yes, it can be a twin. And then we have a bed in the back.
And then you have, this is actually a pretty big bed.
Yeah,
is that a full or a queen?
I think that would be I don't know. The reason it probably might not be a queen is because of the way it cuts off here, but
Right.
I think two people could very well sleep there.
And then of course you've got your doggy's little area.
Yeah, doggy's area. And it has a nice, whoa! You caught me at a bad time here doing my washing. Okay.
Wow, your bathroom's actually quite spacious.
Yes.
I'm surprised, honestly. That's pretty
It
big.
is.
That's pretty big for
It
a
is.
little Class C.
It has a big shower.
Yeah, wow. Way bigger than I had in my head. So that's cool. And
Yeah.
your fridge is
Yes.
typical
nice
size.
big freezer.
Yeah, that's really big for this small Class C.
I know.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So you guys do pretty well living in this space.
Yeah,
You guys
we
don't
have-
have any slides.
No, we have storage under here on both sides and storage under there.
Storage under
And
there.
of course up top.
Right, and then you got storage under that bed too, right?
Yeah, from the outside.
Yeah, that's a lot of storage.
It is.
Well, this is awesome. I thank you so much for giving me the tour, and thank you so much for the interview, and it's been wonderful meeting you.
Oh, very nice meeting you and your boys.
Thank you.